Hi there, my name is John Holden. I graduated from the University of Connecticut in 1992 with a bachelor's degree in ornamental horticulture. In 1993, I started Land Designs Unlimited. I design, install, and maintain landscapes for homeowners in Upper Fairfield County, Connecticut. Today, I'd like to share my passion with you. Shirley, you're joking. I'm not joking, and don't call me Shirley. Who remembers that line from the movie Airplane? Right now, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about shears. And shears come in both the good old-fashioned manual style like we have here, and you can also get, can we see that? Gas-powered hedge clippers. You know, shears is it's a pretty broad category, and shears brings me to a discussion about what the right way to prune shrubs is in the first place. As I've evolved in my knowledge of landscaping, the way I maintain shrubs has changed a bit. And back in the day, I would just get out the hedge clippers or the shears and just make all the shrubs into these, balls or, towers, and just cut everything right off at the end of the shrub. But I went to a seminar probably 7 or 8 years ago where they talked about using your pruning shears and pruning using selective pruning from the outside of the shrub all the way to the inside, so your shrub has more depth to it. So what I usually do now is on most landscapes, I use the pruners. I don't use the shears for pruning shrubs. Even a boxwood hedge, a formal boxwood hedge, I will selectively prune. But I will talk a little bit about your hedge shears and your hedge clippers, just because there still are times when you will prune a formal hedge. My go-to hedge clippers when I'm doing it by hand are these Coronas I've got here. I got these at one of the local nurseries. I just maintain these so they're razor sharp and they've got a nice coat of oil on them. And the thing I like about these Coronas is they've got a little bit of a longer handle. Let's see if we can move back. Whoop. They've got a little bit of a longer handle, so you can stand up and have some reach when you're pruning. And the other nice thing they've got, and keep an eye on this when you're going to looking at cheaper pairs, they've got these nice rubber bumpers on them here. So when you're shearing, you're not bumping pure metal. And let me show you one other pair. These are also Coronas, but a lower end model. And they have metal bumpers on them. So that's a difference you're going to look at. I think they're both, pretty good pairs, but this definitely, as I'm doing this, I can really feel the pressure of that working. Whereas with these guys, it's a much more comfortable to do. If you've only got 5 or 6 shrubs in your yard that you need to prune, I'd really recommend you go out and spend maybe around $70 and get a nice pair of hedge shears like these guys, as opposed to getting that electric pair that everybody seems to have. The electric ones, they sit in the basement, they get all dusty, they never seem to have a very good edge on them, and they just end up butchering these poor shrubs. So, a pair like this, it's really not a lot more work. It actually could be less work. If I had to reach out, I'd rather reach out with these guys than to be holding a 5-pound pair of hedge clippers across a shrub. So I really would recommend you get a pair like this. Another option when it comes to hedge clippers and hedge shears is your electric models or your gas models. And as with any tool, I really recommend you buy the best you can afford. And to me, the best means that it's very lightweight, it's easy to maintain, and it's easy to keep a sharp edge on it. I used to have handheld hedge clippers, which are pretty much just like holding a chainsaw, but they got the hedge clippers, and they work okay, but it's really not that fun to be holding those hedge clippers, and for some reason the fumes always just seem to come back at me. It's loud, it's noisy. So what I did is I switched to these guys right here a while back, and again, I don't really end up using my gas-powered clippers very often. These guys are great if you've got, if you can even see them, If you've got a spot in the yard where there's like a really overgrown rose bush or a really overgrown bush, you know, something like this is awesome. You know, you just fire them up, you've got like a 6-foot reach, and you just basically can, you know, knock them back to whatever they need be. But if you're looking for hedge clippers and you're in the trade, I would definitely take a look at something like this, because you can reach, you know, as I'm reaching up here, I'm going to say I'm getting up to be about 8-9 feet off the ground without a ladder. I'm a pretty big fan of Echo power equipment. I also like steel, but again, you know, whatever's near you, whatever's best, that's what I would go with. So that's our general overview of shears, and in the next video we're going to talk a little bit about saws.